world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. Good morning to every one of you. Yoga is a light. Once lit, it will never dim. The better you practice, brighten is the flame. This is told by B.K.S. Iyengar, who wrote, I think, the first book on yoga. With such a powerful yoga practice, what we do, simplified Kundalini yoga, the question is, do we get such light within us? Do our yoga practices brighten up our inner Nadi? That is the topic for today. Usharan, I hope I am audible because I am inside
Yes,
the
sir.
car, outside the
Yes,
children
yes.
class venue. So if anything issue, just let me know.
Okay, sir.
Sure.
It is clear, sir. Well clear.
Okay, great. Now, why this topic? Normally in the morning when I, as soon as I get up after brushing my teeth, I take 6 glasses of water. When I take water, I have a book in my hand and I read some books. And I happen to read this poem. And the English translation of the poem is there. Even if you practice yoga for 8,000 years, no one could know and enjoy the nectar, Amridam. If you work inside your inner Nadi to brighten up, he will be with you like a mirror. This is what the poem says. And I was shocked to read the first line, which the author says, actually, he is not just a spiritual scholar, he is a scientist. And there are a lot of research which has been going on since last 20 years, which is really helpful for the humanity. And he says, even if you do yoga for 8,000 years, you will not be able to enjoy the nectar or the fruit, or he is talking about some nectar. And also he says you will not be able to brighten up your inner Nadi. That made me to think about this topic. So my point here is, whether whatever practices I have been doing it for 6 months or 6 years or 10 years or 20 years, am I brightening up my inner Nadi, and am I tasting the nectar within me? So that is going to be the discussion today, and this will be in 2 parts. So I'm going to cover only some portion of it. What are we going to discuss today? Let's try to understand what he means here as nectar, Nadi, and there are many Nadis, and what he refers as inner Nadi. So these are all the basic fundamentals. We will go through that today. And before we go there, okay, let me explain what are we going to do and how much my inner Nadi is brightened up or shining, and how can I assess myself. So there are 10 points by which I myself can assess how much of my inner Nadi is, brightened up, and how to brighten up my inner Nadi. And that's the third one. And I think 1 and 2 we will cover today, and part 2 we will discuss about how to brighten up, and what is Ida Nadi and what is Pingala Nadi, and what are those points, and how to awaken or how to brighten up our inner Nadi. And there are 12 points which we will cover it in the part 2 section. Now let's start with the fundamentals, wherein he says nectar, and no one could know and enjoy the nectar. I just want all of you to think about this particular word nectar. Even after 8,000 years of yoga practice, we can't enjoy, he says. What is the nectar he is referring in this poem? Means what? Nectar means he's talking about our mind, or body, or soul, or spirit, or whatever you think could be. He is referring as a nectar. And if I know the nectar, if I can enjoy the nectar, and he says on the next 2 lines that my inner Nadi is brightening up, and I will, and he will be with me like a mirror. That is what the effect of it he says. So just put your comment in your chat box. Peace, excellent. What is the meaning, or what nectar he is referring? Essence. Blissful state. Excellent. Essence. Okay. What is a nectar? Could be is referring. Ultimate truth. Very nice. Very nice. Others, please. I need all your feedback, comments. What is the nectar he is referring here? Purpose of birth. Great. And then what else? All our ancestors, they really practiced yoga, and they really enjoyed to the core or the 100% of the benefits of yoga practices. Maybe we are missing something, or we are not doing it properly, so that I don't get 100% of the benefit of yoga, right? So here, what could be the answer for nectar? Atomic bomb, nuclear bomb in World War II, Hiroshima. One small piece of bomb and could destroy, couple of cities, and the effect of it are still being felt by the people there, or the situation there. Now, atomic bomb, E equal to mc square. That's a formula what Einstein invented. That means it's a small in size, a nucleus, and if that proton, and if that can be broke, and you get enormous energy out of that. And that is a concept behind atomic bomb. Now, what they are breaking in atomic bomb is the nucleus of an atom, right? And a specific atom. Now, Kundalini Shakti is the nectar. We all have it within us. And we all know that 90% of the energy is in a dormant state, sleeping like a coiled snake. And that Kundalini Shakti is a nectar. And if I can explode it, and definitely, and I am going to have a blissful, I'm going to achieve what I want in my life. First of all, as Vivekananda said, you can achieve anything and everything in life. And Maharishi says you can, the entire world is in your control, or in your control. So all these, if I have to achieve it, I need enormous amount of energy, and that Kundalini Shakti, if I can crack it, that is what is happening in a nuclear bomb or atomic bomb. And then I will have enormous energy to achieve whatever I want in my life. That is a nectar he is talking about. With that energy, not only I achieve whatever I want in my life, even a villain in a movie achieves what he wants in a life. But at the end, he is having a bad, sad climax, right? So the ultimate purpose is to be in a blissful state. Now, ecstasy. So that ecstasy, that blissful life, if I can make use of my Kundalini Shakti, then only it is possible to have it. Though ecstasy is a feeling, and I need to make use of Kundalini Shakti, what is inside me. And for that, he is talking about it. You have to work. You can't just get nectar. You practice yoga, but unless you work inside the inner Nadi, unless you brighten up, you will not be able to enjoy the nectar. You will not be able to enjoy the bliss when you are living. And once you brighten up your inner Nadi, then he will be with you like a mirror. Who is he? God. That means if I see my face in a mirror, the mirror and my face cannot be separated. Nobody can separate my image which is appearing on a mirror. So how that is together in a mirror, my image and mirror are together, which is one and same. Nobody can separate it. In the same way, God will be with me and I will be with the God. Then ecstasy, blissful is my life. That means I will enjoy all over my living. And that is a benefit of the brightening up of inner Nadi. And that is what he is referring in this poem. So now let's start with the basic understanding of Nadi. First, let's understand what is Nadi. Nadi, for the blood to flow in our body, we have blood vessels. And if you see the meaning of Nadi in Sanskrit, the meaning is flow of river. How a river flows, and that is what it is being referred as Nadi. So what they are referring here as Nadi means the path by which all our Akash particles, our life energy particles, our life force particles are traveling within our body. That path is called Nadi. So we have 72,000 of nadis within us, and through that nadi, through the path, how a river flows, our Akash particles flows. Our energy particles flows within the body. All over our body, we have millions and millions of energy particle, but they are not just randomly passing through the body. It is passing through a channel, and that channel is called Nadi. So that's the meaning of the word Nadi, and it flows like a river. Now there are three nadis. Though there are 72,000 nadis within our body, there are three nadis which are very important. And as you can see in the picture on the slide on the right hand side, and from Mooladhara chakra to Turiyam chakra, there are 7 chakras. And all these 7 chakras are connected in a central line. And around the central line, there are 2 lines you can see. So on the left side, there is one line, which is called Ida Nadi. And on the right side, there is one that is called Pingala Nadi. And the central one is called Shushmana Nadi. So these are the 3 nadis which we have out of 72,000 nadis, because the majority of the energy is flowing through that. And this is the Mooladhara chakra. And the white line, the dark line, the gray one, which is a Ida Nadi, because it is starting from the left side of the central one. And that Ida Nadi comes here as Swadhisthana chakra and meeting at Swadhisthana, where the Pingala Nadi is also coming and joining there. So at this juncture, the junction of Ida Nadi and Pingala Nadi, the left one and right one, it is the meeting point. That is called chakras, and that chakra is called Swadhisthana chakra. And again, the Pingala Nadi, the right one, the white one, is going through the left side and meeting at the next point, which is called the Manipura chakra. And in the same way, it is going like a zigzag form, and there is a meeting point, and every meeting point there is a chakra. So there are total 7 chakras, and the base chakra is Mooladhara chakra, and the top chakra is Turiya chakra. And if you closely notice the picture there, the Ida Nadi comes here, Swadhisthana, Manipuraga, Anagata, and Vishukti, and then it is coming to Agna. That's it. After Agna, the white line is not there. And the Pingala Nadi is, this is the Ida Nadi, and it is coming here, and the Pingala Nadi is like this, and it is coming to Agna. At Agna, all the 3 nadis are joined together, and from there, only Sushmana Nadi is going up to Turiya chakra. From Agna to Sushmana, there is no Ida, there is no Pingala, only Sushmana Nadi is flowing from Agna to Turiya chakra. So this you need to understand that point as well. Okay, now let's try to understand what is his Ida Nadi and what is his Pingala Nadi, and why there are 3 nadis, and what is his Sushmana Nadi, and what is that inner Nadi he is talking about. He is saying inner Nadi. All are inner. All 72,000 nadis are inside my body. But he is referring to a particular inner Nadi, and we need to know what is that inner Nadi. Though there are 3 main nadis, one of that is the inner Nadi he is talking about. Okay, so the Nadi is an energy path, energy channel, and Ida Nadi is the left one, and Pingala Nadi is the right one, and the Sushmana Nadi is the central Nadi. Now, if you see the structure, always from morning to, means all the 24 hours, the life force energy or the Akash particles, the energy what we are referring is flowing either through Ida Nadi or through the Pingala Nadi. All the time, the energy is circulating through only these through nadis, and that too specifically 1 hour, every 1 hour, actually the energy is flowing, majority of the energy is flowing in only one Nadi. For example, morning 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, for me, for example, the energy is flowing in Ida Nadi. For me, the energy is flowing in this. In the right one also, there will be flow, but majority of the energy will be flowing through the Ida Nadi. and that will be there for 1 hour, 6 to 7 in the morning. At 7 o'clock, and it changes a cycle, and now the energy will flow through the Pingala Nadi, and the Ida Nadi will have very, very, very less energy flowing through it, less than 2% or 1% of the energy which is flowing in the other Nadi. And every 1 hour, the Nadi is shifting, like a change in shift. So 6 to 7, Ida Nadi is passing majority of the energy, 7 to 8 is Pingala Nadi, and 8 to 9 is Ida Nadi, 9 to 10 is Pingala Nadi. So every 1 hour alternatively, one Nadi is now taking the energy through all the chakras and individual chakras. And from here there are a lot of nadis, and so the energy is distributed around this area. Mooladhara chakra around below the rectum muscles. This chakra, from lot of nadis, are taking the energy from Mooladhara chakra and distributing below that anus point. So each chakra will distribute the energy across that area, around that area. Okay. So there are 72,000 nadis, and energy is distributed throughout the body. So always energy is flowing either in Ida Nadi or in Pingala Nadi. There is no situation where it is empty here. Until I die, energy is flowing either here or there all the time, from birth to death. Then what is this Sushmana Nadi? The Sushmana Nadi is always empty. And empty means absolute space is there. In the Sushmana Nadi, absolute space is there. And absolute space, complete darkness. And since it is dark, and the author of the poem, Thirumalar, and he writes, you have to do the yoga practices so that your inner Nadi is brightened up. The Nadi which is not yet brightened up is the inner Nadi, or the central Nadi. The central Nadi, which is called Sushmana Nadi. As it is empty, as it is with absolute space, it is full darkness. And if my yoga practices can lighten up the Sushmana Nadi, then I am able to see the nectar. I am able to enjoy the bliss in my life. That is what he is writing. Because when every 1 hour, this Ida Nadi is having energy, that means it's already brightened up. There is no situation anytime that in a day, these Nadis are darkness. No, all the time energy is flowing. Majority of the energy is flowing in one Nadi, and little energy is flowing in the other Nadi. When Ida Nadi is active, Pingala Nadi is also having some energy. Okay. So now what we understood is the Sushmana Nadi is always empty, absolute space, complete darkness. If my yoga practices can brighten up my Sushmana Nadi, I am able to enjoy the nectar and I can live a blissful life. That is what the author is telling in his poem. Now we need to understand, how can I brighten up my inner Nadi? Whether already I have been doing yoga for 6 years, 10 years, 2 years, 6 months, have I brightened up my inner Nadi at least 5%, 10%, 20%, something like that? We need to know. Before we go deep into that, let's understand the meaning of those nadis. Nadi means energy channel, energy path, and Ida Nadi means Ida. If you see the meaning of Ida, the word Ida in Sanskrit, it means comfort. That means the energy, when energy is flowing in Ida Nadi, for example, 6 to 7, I feel very comfortable. I don't want to do any tough work at that time. Even if my wife says, my dear, please come, move this table to that corner of the room. I want to shift the table to that room. If my energy is flowing in my Ida Nadi, I will tell my wife, hey, wait, I will do it after some time. I don't want to do it now, because where I am doing what I am doing, where I am sitting now, I am more comfortable. Because the energy is flowing in Ida Nadi, I feel very comfortable. Whereas if my energy is flowing in my Pingala Nadi, which is 7 to 8, for example, and if somebody says, hey, come on, let's do a meditation. I want to sit meditation for half an hour and observe the movement of Akash particles, and I want to reduce my frequency. It is very tough. If you want to be in a peaceful state, when majority of the energy is going in Pingala Nadi, peaceful state is very, very tough there, because it is shining. Pingala means shining. And when the energy is shining means the light is brightened up, 1000 watts bulb. And I have plenty of energy and I can't sit quiet like a child. And I want to do something. I want to engage in my some physical activity now. If nothing is there, I will keep doing something. I can't sit idle at any place when the energy is flowing in my Pingala Nadi. So the Pingala Nadi means when energy is flowing in Pingala Nadi, physical activity is more, and I do a lot of activities which will be visible and which will be like a shining, or you do in a special way when energy is rightly flowing in Pingala Nadi. Okay. And Sushmana Nadi. You know the first letter Su, it is used, that alphabet, that letter Su is used along with many other words. For example, Shanti, Sushanti,
Be
Kumar.
blessed by the divine. Sir,
Yes.
in between, just 1 minute, it got stuck. So 30 seconds.
Oh, is it? Okay. I think I kept
Can
some
you
paper
repeat,
on my
sir?
laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now is okay? Now it's okay, Usha?
Yes, sir. Now it is fine, sir.
Okay, great. I
Just
think I
30 seconds, sir.
Yeah, I think I kept my paper on my laptop. I think so. That's the reason. No worries. Now it will be clear. I hope there is no disturbance for you. And if anything is there, just let me know. Okay. Now, Ida Nadi means comfortable, as I said. Pingala Nadi means more of physical activity. So I will be doing some activities. And the Sushmana Nadi means the first letter Su, Supriya, or Sushanti. Shanti means peaceful. Sushanti means it's something very special in a peaceful state I get. That is called Sushanti. Kumar means young, youth. Sukumar means he is very special in youth. That means something special or something good or something auspicious is added to that particular word, and that is called Su. And Ish and Mna. Mna means mind. He is referring to the mind. Yes, Ish in Sanskrit means joy, happiness, pleasure. Now, what that word says, my mind is happy, but something special, that is called ecstasy, bliss, infinite happiness. Not just a happiness for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, infinite happiness. That is the word refers. Shushmana means blissful state or ecstasy, and that is the state somebody will feel when energy is flowing in Sushmana Nadi. So that is the word itself describes the significance of that Nadi. And that Nadi we need to brighten up. That is the objective of yoga practices. Okay, now let's go there. There is another poem, the same author has written it. And for this poem, there are at least 20 different scholars have given explanation for that poem. And unfortunately, the translation I have translated with the right meaning, okay, based on Vedatriyam principles. And you won't, anyway, the Tamil wordings, there are 20 scholars who gave explanation. All of them, what they explained, I will explain you now. This poem looks like this. Brightens up by rising and bringing down both nadis. No one knows the calculation of air. The one who knows the calculation of air, he kicks out the death of God. Means somebody can escape from Yamaraja, the death of God. He will never die. Who? The person who knows the calculation of air movements. What is that air movement he's talking? The breathe in, breathe out. And the person who knows the two nadis. And just for your information, the Ida Nadi, the Ida Nadi, it starts from Muladhara Chakra. It comes to the Agna Chakra, as I shown in the figure. And from the Agna Chakra, it ends up in my left nostril. The Ida Nadi, it ends up in my left nostril. Pingala Nadi, it comes to Agna, and from Agna, it ends up in the right nostril. So what the guys are telling, whatever we do the breathing through the left nostril or right nostril, it is connected to the movement of prana in my body, movement of Kundalini Shakti in my body. So the Ida Nadi is active. When Ida Nadi is active, for example, I said 6 to 7 o'clock. If my Ida Nadi is active between 6 to 7, you just keep your thumb finger here and breathe out. Now my Pingala Nadi is active. I can feel the air coming out of my right nostril. If my Ida Nadi is active and you keep there, you will see the flow of air from the left nostril, not through the right nostril. You can easily find out what Nadi is working right now for every one of you, right? So he says in that poem, the translators, the explanations, what given by the 20 different scholars, they are all belonging to Bhakti Marga. All are devoted to, means belonging to the devotional aspect of Bhakti. So they think there is a Lord Shiva, and they are connecting to the God. Those who can control the left and right breathing, their nadi is brightened up and they can escape from the death. That is what the explanation given by all the 20 scholars, which I went through each explanation, means each scholar's explanation, and more or less all are giving that explanation. But if we know Vedatriyam, definitely, you see the earlier, even now, the people are practicing yoga practices. You breathe in through the left, and then you hold it, and then you breathe out. And the holding time, it's a kumbhakam. It's the word is kumpak, means you hold the breath. Maharishi is dead against holding the breath. Okay, he never teaches us to hold the breath anytime. I know the logic behind that, but all our ancestors, they tell that you can hold it. So the many of the authors are explaining, if you can breathe in and hold and then breathe out, and who has a control of holding it, and they can escape from the death of God, and they have their nadi is brightened up. That is what the explanations are given by them. But I have given this poem only to understand that if we know Vedatriyam, even what the authors said 2000 years back, what he meant, we can easily guess, oh, this is what he is referring. So here, if we can brighten up our inner nadi, which is the Sushmana nadi, definitely we can escape from the death of God. That is what this poem says to us. Okay. And now, how much of my inner nadi is brightened up? How can we assess myself? There are 10 points. You can, 6 points, I think, 6 or, there are 10 points. So you can assess maybe each one has 2 points or 5 points, and 10 in 5, 50 points. You can give some marks from 0 to 5. Depending upon your situation. So this is very rough way of assessing myself, how my inner nadi is brightened up. Obviously, you won't find any of this, what I'm sharing it in any of the books. So I am saying as a warning to you, this is purely based on the understanding of Vedatriyam and in my knowledge, and based on some kind of experience, and based on some reference notes given by great scholars. Okay, so you just apply and see if it works fine. If it doesn't work, see whether you can improve it. But this is no hard and fast that if you don't meet it, your inner nadi is brightened up. Don't come to that conclusion, because I am saying this not from like a Maharishi's state, right? So with my limited understanding, if I am sharing this to you, so just take it in a lighter way, but see it if it matches, if it works, and don't come to any conclusion with the part 1 as well. You have to listen part 2 of the lecture, then only you can summarize it, you can come to some conclusion. Okay, now the first assessment, the Sushmana Nadi. If any of you think what I am saying now, all these 10 points, if it doesn't match with your understanding, or it doesn't have any logic or any sense, please feel free to share with me so that I can correct myself as well, right? So the Sushmana Nadi is an empty, and it is an absolute space. And all our great scholars like Vivekananda and Maharishi, all these people, including Einstein, everybody says you can achieve anything and everything, even including Einstein. How everybody says that you can achieve anything and everything? On what basis? I want to achieve something, whereas Usharani wanted to achieve something else. How everything is possible? In fact, Vivekananda says not you can achieve anything. You can achieve anything and everything. He says, this is the exact word great Vivekananda says. So how? Simply because the Sushmana Nadi is an empty space. And if I have to follow a road from here in Wakra, Al-Ukair to Doha, there are tar roads available. I have to follow the road. I can't create a road because there is a road already, right? Whereas Sushmana Nadi is empty for every one of us. And why it is empty? God doesn't want to decide my life. God wanted to just give what I have done so far. He is giving the result. But I am the captain of my life. You are the architect of your life. There are, in a book, there are few chapters which is already written when I am born. But the remaining chapters, I am going to write it. Ahamya karma is in my hand. And why it is all being said? Because the Sushmana Nadi is empty when I am born. And now I brighten up. I create my own path for my life. I may have something, Usharani may have something else. My path need not be same as her path. And in fact, practically it is true. My wife wants something, I have to use one technique. Whereas the same technique, if one of you follows for your wife, it may go in opposite direction. So everybody's path have to be different. Solution have to be different. So here, since my Sushmana Nadi is empty, I create my own tar road. I create a road for my life. Creativity. And I lay my path. I know what I want to do. And everybody is born with some unique capability, unique ability. Everybody is having some unique ability. Somebody may be expert in cooking, somebody expert in speaking, somebody expert in cricket. Everybody has some unique ability, and we need to identify our own unique ability. And we have to work on to develop that unique ability. In order to know my unique ability, in order to develop my unique ability, my inner Nadi has to be brightened up. If my inner Nadi is already opened up, it is already locked, closed, or opened up, you will know now, opened and then closed as well. And, I started with the saying of BKS Iyengar. He says, yoga is a light. Once you light, it never dims. That means brightened up. And you just think about Maharishi. And Maharishi agrees with this statement. Just think about it. And Maharishi has given an symbol of lighting a lamp. And every 1 hour, you have to make that stick, cotton thread, to move. Otherwise, the light will go off. See the two conflicting thoughts about what is to be done, but both are right. Okay. And if you think about this, you will understand why both are right. So here we all have unique ability. Unless my inner Nadi is brightened up, I don't know my path. I can't create my own road to my life. Why I am born, what is my unique ability, what is the design as per God in creating me, in sending me to this earth. I should know. I will know only if my inner Nadi is brightened up, Sushmana Nadi is brightened up. And that unique ability I will come to know, and I will come to know, I will come to know by if my inner Nadi is brightened up. Okay, so everybody has a talent. So how much you know about your unique ability, how much control you have for your life. You are creating your life. At least the path is clear, and you are traveling in your path. If it is 100%, you can put 5 marks, nothing 0, or in between 2 to 3, whatever you think you can. Next one. And Maharishi the author Thirumolar says, if my inner Nadi is brightened up, I am like a mirror and image. The divine thinking, divine thought, divine realization, and feeling of ecstasy I will be able to enjoy in my life. So the moment I woke up at 4 o'clock, I go to bed at 9 o'clock. Between this time, how much bliss I enjoyed it. How much of my thought force is in line with the divinity. And that depends on how much my inner Nadi is brightened up. If it is 100%, like Maharishi, he always thinks everything is God, everyone is God, and he never get angry, he never get any emotional state, and he knows the truth, and he knows what is going to come. Everything he knows, 5 out of 5 for him. Not 5, all 12 points, all 10 points, 12 points, right? So 120 out of 120. Whereas how much I am, how much every one of you, assess yourself. what are the things you think and it is happening, and which doesn't happen, you don't think. What you think it will happen and what is not possible, you will not think. That is a state of bliss, right? Sorry, that is a requirement for bliss. Okay, so you can assess yourself and put your mark. I think somebody has raised a hand. You can just put your comment in a chat box. If something is to be cleared before I proceed further, put it in chat box. I will definitely I will be able to see the chat, and then I will clarify to you. I kept the chat box also open. Okay, so no worries. You can write your comment there and I will clarify it. Okay, now the next point is inner mental faculty. What do you mean by mental faculty? We know, right? Now I'm speaking. So my mental faculty is on. And inner mental faculty, always the mind is working inside, right? Thinking about something or planning something or worrying something or fearing something. If my inner Nadi is brightened up fully, the mental faculty is very, very, very minimum. When Lord Buddha is after his enlightenment, for most of the questions, silence is his answer. He doesn't answer many of the questions, but the person will get the answer. And the inner mental faculty will be, that activity will be less or zero when the inner Nadi is completely brightened up. And the worldly pleasure, either nil, actually nil, ideally speaking, nil. But if I apply Vedatriyam, it should not be nil. It has to be, but in a limited method, like limit and method. For example, one of the greatest personality, maybe for me, Raja is the music superstar, or Rajinikanth, or Amitabh Bachchan, or Prime Minister, or anyone you take the greatest personality. He comes and takes a selfie with you. He comes to you, for example, hypothetically, just assume that. If he comes and takes, I want to take a selfie with me, I will not be excited at all if my inner Nadi is 100% brightened up. That means, first of all, at least as a basic, if somebody is taking a selfie every day 10 times, absolutely it is locked. Okay, just a crude way of explaining the meaning of the word I am just saying. But remember, Maharishi says, no, renunciation means not keeping away from all these worldly pleasures. He says, worldly and sensual pleasure you have to enjoy, but limit and method. Okay, so accordingly you apply in your day-to-day life. So to market, that means, oh no, I don't enjoy, then only my inner Nadi is brightened up. I'm sorry, it's not at all correct, right? You have to enjoy everything. So accordingly you assess this particular point. And the fourth one, my state of awareness is at its peak. It is not that from 8 o'clock to 8 to 2, I got angry, but the rest of the day, I was so peaceful. I was in a blissful state. But for 8 to 8 to, I was angry a little bit. No, I'm sorry. Awareness is 24 hours at its working at its peak for someone whose inner Nadi, Sushmana Nadi, is brightened up. And external factors, no impact at all. That means somebody is coming and shouting at me or telling me stupid, or means I have not done that mistake, but he is shouting at me. Absolutely, my BP should remain constant, and my emotion, means I am out of emotions. Then my inner Nadi is brightened up. That means nowadays, if I on a Friday, I have a phone, and for example, for some people, they see the number. Oh, why this stupid fellow is calling now on a Friday? If I think like that, my inner Nadi is really not brightened up. No, I have the full control of my happiness. Nobody else, right? That much should be the effect of inner Nadi brightening up. If somebody comes and cut my right hand, wow, left hand is there. Oh, wow, he didn't kill me. Wow. If I have that kind of approach, my inner Nadi is 100% brightened up. Okay, so that is the meaning of the fifth point. External factors, no impact. Okay, now wisdom. Sixth one is wisdom. Of course, whatever he knows, he practices it and he experiences it. He is not talking or he is not living Now, he knows there are many people. The difference between knowledge and wisdom is, knowledge is an information. Wisdom is an experience after applying that information in his life. I teach exercise is good, but if I don't do myself the exercise, I haven't attained wisdom with respect to the exercises, right? In the same way, if my inner Nadi is brightened up, I really experience so many things. I know the in and out of it. I know what is truth in it. So that is called wisdom, knowing the truth. And because of that, the perspicacity. Perspicacity means, like what the poem we said, that poem, I have read the explanation given by at least 15 to 20 scholars, different authors. I try to call, I called a couple of people, Tamil teachers in my hometown state, Tamil Nadu, and I gave this particular poem. What is this Ulnadi, that inner Nadi? Can you explain me? What is he referring? What is the explanation? He may have some book about explanation of that Trimandaram, and he read that explanation. He pasted and in WhatsApp, I read it, and most of it are giving an explanation that who is able to control the breathing? Yes, inner Nadi. Whereas if you know Vedatriyam, I haven't invented. I know Vedatriyam and Sushmana Nadi, and if you see the meaning of Sushmana, that matches with the last line of his poem, right? Perspicacity means to understand the deep meaning of what the author says in his poem, right? So you know the inner meaning of everything, what the eyes cannot see, but you are able to see that. That is called a perspicacity. So for any kind of worldly problems, if you know the root cause of the problem, you can easily fix it. But nowadays, the boy is getting 0 mark in mathematics, for example, or he is getting a fail mark in mathematics, and the parents are discussing, why you are getting 0, and the boy says maths teacher is not good. Well, okay, fine, let's change the teacher or let's change the school. Sorry, first of all, he doesn't understand the root cause of the problem. Maybe he is weak, or maybe the mother is not teaching him properly, or the teacher is not teaching proper. We need to understand what exactly the problem is. Whereas if inner Nadi is brightened up, definitely he should be able to know the root cause of it and fix the problem. I think I have shared it, and we have got one professor from a place called Jayangondan. I think 8 years before, 8 years before, and he is no more actually now. He shared one of the experience, and in his center, one of the member of that Sky Club, he fixed his the fixed marriage for his daughter. So he made the invitation, and he wanted to give the first invitation to Maharishi. So he requested the professor there. So the professor and that member both traveled to Aliyar to give the first invitation to Maharishi. So they entered into the Maharishi's room, and Maharishi was sitting in a chair, and they entered the room with the invitation, and then that person told, sir, Swamiji, I have fixed marriage for my daughter, and I want to give you the first invitation to you, and take your blessings. And Maharishi said, keep the invitation on the table. What is the normal behavior should be? When somebody is giving the invitation, you have to get up and take the invitation, right? Okay, he is old, so he's sitting there, it's fine, but he didn't take the invitation on his hand. Why? Because his perspicacity is good, his wisdom is 100%, and what he told, keep the invitation there, number one. Step two, he said, if your daughter already married. And the father was shocked, and the professor also shocked. And then third, he said, I suggest you officially you get your girl married to the same boy, not the boy which is mentioned in the invitation. That's all. That's what. Only 3 things he said. That's it. Keep the invitation on the table. Your daughter is already married. Third, you please now make it official. He married in a register office. You get her married with all your relatives, the same boy. Out of the room they came, and that person was shouting at the professor, saying that I thought Maharishi is great, but I know now. I know my daughter. If I cross your line, don't cross. She will not cross the line. How could she marry somebody else? No way it is possible. And she is an MBBS doctor. In fact, she was a doctor. She didn't believe it. And at the end, they found that she did a registered marriage with a driver. She is MBBS and he is not even 10th standard, but they got registered in a they had a registered marriage. Okay. And anyway, leave that part aside. For our understanding, perspicacity, any problems, anything, what is the truth, you will come to know. Okay. Now they will follow the morality, duty, charity. These three things, they will never deviate. Maharishi, in the beginning days, when he learned the meditation, when he practiced the meditation, and he was working in a post office, and I think Kumaresan sir gave the complete history and of his self autobiography, the book, right? So the post officer wanted him to do something which is outside the norms, right? So he resigned his job and came out of the post office, which is a central government job. So people will follow the morality, duty, charity. They never tell lies. They never harm any, means they follow, never harm anybody. They always try to help. They don't deviate the rules. The rules are the top priority for them. So virtues. And they will have positive vibration. And if you see Maharishi, and even if he is not there, when we see his blessings video itself, we feel some special energy we are receiving it. And the moment we think of it, we think positively. So for those whose inner Nadi is brightened up, the Sushmana Nadi is brightened up, and they will have some positive vibration around them, positive energy around them. The moment you think you receive the positive energy, you like to speak to him, you like to have relationship with him, you want, wherever they are, you can feel the positive energy. So the positivity people can feel, definitely, if their Sushmana Nadi is brightened up. When Buddha is there, within the 7 miles of his presence, no snake and fox will fight with each. Fox or Nari? Usha, is it fox, Nari? So, the two inimical animals, yeah, so they never fight. And they always fight. But when Buddha is there, it never fight, because that is a positive vibration he had surrounding his area. So that kind of positive vibrations will be there with that person if his Sushmana Nadi is brightened up. And the 10th one is Samadhi state. Sama plus Adi. Sama means equal. Adi means the primordial state, which is the absolute space or the divine state. So he is equal to God. And he can be in that state as well. A state of stillness. Maharishi went through in US, when he visited US in one of the university, they had a test for him, and they went through that ECG, EEG, electroencephalograph, with the previous few other medical equipments. And when Maharishi started meditating, the EEG graph got struck 0, nothing. That means the person is dead. And then they thought that the medical equipment have some problems, and they tried to fix the problem, and it is not fixing. They are not able to fix it. Then they told Maharishi, please, we have some equipment problem. You please wake up. And there is no medical problem. He could go to that state of stillness, and then he got up. The medical equipment was, again, it started showing the graph. Once he came out of it, and the graph started moving, it was dead, and then it was picking up and going down because he woke up. And then they thought, oh my God, the equipment is perfect. Whereas this guy went to that state. That is what they were surprised to see that. So a state of stillness is possible for them, because they can go to that state. So these are the 10 points, some symptoms I'm saying, whereas means we can assess ourselves where I stand. Then you set a target. Oh, these are the points I need to improve on, and I need to brighten up my inner Nadi so that I progress in my life in achieving all those 10 points. Okay, we don't need to be like a Maharishi, but at least until my death, I am in a peaceful state, not peaceful state, sorry, blissful state. Blissful state. Okay, whatever I think it happens it, and whatever possible only I'm thinking it, I'm thinking it. So the life goes very smooth and life goes excellent, right? So at least to reach that stage of living, we need to brighten up. We need to do yoga practices to brighten up our Sushmana Nadi. Okay, so now with this, Sharani, I think the time is correct, right? Now 10:20, right? So
Yes, sir. Yes.
yeah. So let me conclude here, and if any question is there, I can definitely answer those questions. And the part 2, we will also go through how to brighten up the Sushmana Nadi and what I should do with respect to Ida Nadi and Pingala Nadi, and what are the teachings of Maharishi, which we don't do it properly, so that my inner Nadi is not getting brightened up. So those points are also, I have some slide to easily assess ourselves whether I do it properly or not. Okay. So with this, I conclude today's session. So thank you so much for your listening. Thank you. Be blessed by the divine. If any question is there, please feel free to ask.
Thank you so much, sir. Before starting the question and answer session, we will go with the blessings. Please, all of us come to Turiam for a minute to bless our Professor Muthu, sir. Professor Muthu, sir, be blessed by the divine. Professor Muthu, sir, be blessed by the divine. Professor Muthu, sir, be blessed by the divine. Professor Muthu, sir, health and his family, be blessed by the divine. Muthu, sir, health and his family, be blessed by the divine. Muthu, sir, health and family, be blessed by the divine. Professor Muthu, sir, spiritual service, be blessed by the divine. His spiritual service, be blessed by the divine. Professor Muthu, sir, spiritual service, be blessed by the divine. Thank you so much, sir. So now you can raise your hands, those who have any doubts or any concern. I will unmute all of you. Yes, floor is open for you, the participants. If you have any questions, please raise.
Yes, thank you so much. So many of you have written the name of that fox. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Mongoose.
Yeah. Mongoose, yeah.
That is in Tamil, Kiripillai we call, sir.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
It
correct.
is not Nari. Nari means fox.
Yeah, fox. Yeah,
Kiripillai means mongoose. Okay, sir. So, ma'am, Rajeshwari has raised hand. Yes, your mic is unmuted, ma'am. Please, can you?
Madam, வாழ்க வளமுடனம்மா.
Yes.
ஐயா முத்து ஐயா வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
எனக்கு லைன் சரியா கிடைக்கல. இது பார்ட் 1 பார்ட் 2 தெரியல ஒண்ணும்.
பார்ட் 1.
பார்ட் 1. எனக்கு இந்த ஸ்பீச் முடிந்தானே என்னோட நம்பரை கொஞ்சம் கிளிப்பிங் அனுப்ப முடியுமான்னு ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கு. எண்டிங்ல தான் இது கிடைச்சிருக்கு, எனக்கு லைன் கிடைக்கவே இல்ல. So if
can you please stop the YouTube live?
It is already in YouTube, and not only that, in Tamil I spoke last Saturday in Aliyar. So Sky Yoga TV also it is there, and the part 2 is on day after tomorrow in Aliyar. So this is also available in YouTube. So you just search Sky Professor Muthu. Right now live is going on.
Okay, தமிழ் படிக்க தெரியாது, வெளிய கேக்குறது மட்டும் தான் தெரியும்.
Sir, can you please stop the YouTube live?
You can check in YouTube now itself. After that, you can just go to YouTube, Sky
English,
Professor
in
Muthu.
In
yeah, in English. Yeah. This lecture is already there in YouTube. Sky Professor Muthu.
What is the title? Sky Professor Muthu. Unique date, today date.
Yes, correct. Yes, right.
ரொம்ப நன்றி ஐயா.
Do my yoga practices brighten up my inner Nadi? That's a topic. Actually, you will see in YouTube. Now, if you go YouTube, that will be the pop-up video now, right now, because still it is